Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between. Welcome back to What's on the Playlist today. So today I want to talk about the album Bendy's Law by DaVinci's Notebook, an image of which you will see here. Here. Anywho, DaVinci's Notebook um, formed in the mid '90s. They were a four-man a cappella group, and they formed basically three of the members answered like a newspaper ad for a six-man a cappella group, and the fourth member was just a friend of one of the guys. So, excuse me, the six-man a cappella group didn't last very long, and when they broke up, the four members, these four guys, formed DaVinci's Notebook. They, I seem to recall they entered like an a cappella competition in which they came in third place in 1994. But they stayed together. They performed and stuff. They mostly performed other people's music. They performed a cappella versions of other songs. They did put out an EP, a cassette tape, which only had a few songs on it, called Somebody Else's Hits, which I do not have a copy of. Although I wouldn't mind getting a copy of some of those songs because I do like their music. And then they released their first full-length album, Bendy's Law, in 1995. The album consists half the songs on here are essentially cover songs from other bands. I mean, they have Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, Traffic Jam, which by James Taylor, Blue Moon, Stuck in the Middle with You, Sit on the Dock of the Bay, I Dream of Jeannie, and Shoehorn with Teeth, which is a cover from They Might Be Giants. I mentioned that because that band specifically because it's not people might not as that's not one of their They Might Be Giants' more popular songs. So these are all a cappellas, no instruments, only their voices for the most part. And that's about half the songs. They do have other songs on here: Liposuction, Fish Sticks, Window Washing Cowboy, The Joy of Pickled Okra, is Call Me, and Metal Shop. They also have the Mickey Mouse March theme, which is a cover version. Damn, losing it here. Is Call Me a cover song? This is why you have physical copies of media, because you can look this stuff up. Call Me is a cover song. So, yeah, over half the songs on this album are cover songs. How many songs are there? I don't know. There's like 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, of the 15 songs on here, only 5 of them are original works. The rest of all the other 10 are all cover songs. So this was their debut album. You know, they also got pop. They played on Bob and Tom. I'm getting my stuff mixed up. Don't worry, I'm rambling old man. Coming from a family of singers, I know I've mentioned that in the past. You know, myself and my sister sang. My daughters sang. My mother and her sister sang. My grandmother sang. My great-grandmother was a professional singer. So I come from a musical family that sang and played instruments and things like that. So, you know, stuff like this, good vocal harmony is, as I've said in the past, one of my big hooks. I do enjoy it. Having said that, this is an okay album. I mean, it's their debut album, so I wouldn't consider it their best work. So for me, it's kind of a mixed bag. I do really like this band, but I think their later albums and their original work in the later albums tends to take the forefront. They do fewer cover songs as the band gets more popular. The band only lasted a few years. No, they didn't. They only put out a few albums. Let's be clear. They performed together for 12 years before they broke up. So like from 1994 plus 12, 2006, I think, 2005, 2006, I think they broke up. somewhere therein. But yeah, you know, they did the a cappella circuit. They, as I said, they performed on Bob and Tom's radio show, other things too. But for a debut album, it's okay. You know, if you're, I'm not sure if I would say this or not, um, because I do like the band, you know, but I do think this is not their best work. They become, as they develop as songwriters, as their songwriting skills get better and they perform fewer cover songs, they improve. So, but I mean, the seeds are here in this album, you know, just, you know, their sense of humor and, you know, the way they approach the music is just, it's a lot of fun. I do really enjoy a cappella music. I hate giving these guys a downturn for their debut album, but I do have to admit, for me, this album is just kind of like, it's B tier for me. I enjoy it, but I don't love it, which makes it hard for me to recommend. You know, I would, if I was going to tell you to buy an album, I would tell you to buy like their final album instead, which I can't remember the name of. I think it's Brontosaurus. But we're talking about this album. You know, as far as a cappella music, their vocal skills are top tier. They really have the skills to do this. You know, they're all great singers, and they're great at harmony. So skill wise, performance wise, they're very, very good. I just think as songwriting quality goes, you know, they're performing cover versions of other people's popular songs. Their few original songs are amusing but not great. So much as I hate to say it, give it something like a straight B. Sorry guys, love your music as a general, but you know, like I said, I hate giving people I like less than stellar reviews, but I gotta be honest, of their albums, it's probably my least favorite. It's decent, but not, like I said, decent but not great. As always, thanks for watching. As always, my stuff is crap. And until next time, good hunting.